40th anniversary.
Okay.
We could step all night. Not.
And we're talking about cooler, like a bag or something for a cooler bag for a family.
I think we should all get big sippy cups.
And the other one was
Talked about that.
Yeti mugs that had logos on.
We couldn't afford big Yeti cups.
Is it me?
I don't think the small one would work.
And then we came up with a blanket.
No, nice.
And then last night I was talking to Trevor and bouncing ideas off him, and he said, how about umbrella?
Another good choice.
Okay. So,
Miller Lite?
small,
Oh, I thought you said a tall.
I think
small,
you can
tall, SM, S&M.
We're the ones that aren't supposed to hear clear here, you know.
So anyhow, I'm open for your thoughts and ideas.
Oh, thanks, John.
Land it.
Maybe a little, like one of those pill boxes where you have the daily pills.
I have one of those.
I have one too now.
I have a couple.
Is that why you were?
Sometimes that's the only way I know what day it is.
Said we were typos, so I was like, what? I was talking something else. I was gonna say about the toxic.
Ever since we went on the Alaskan cruise, and the highlight was every morning you had to get in an elevator to go someplace on the cruise. Had the day of the week on the map. And I said, you know, this is a great idea. We should have this at home.
There you go.
That's why you have Siri. Siri, what day is it?
I still gotta bring your club soda.
Yep.
Club out.
So it was,
They didn't have that in Hawaii for you too?
no, they were each week. So they got a couple less points.
No, I had to tell you what island you were in every day. Oh, Maui today.
Oh, it rained last night. 11.7 inches. All excursions are canceled. Oh, and you can't get off the boat. The terminal is closed.
Did that happen? Which island was that?
Lua, the last one, the original.
Wow. They wouldn't even let you off the boat?
Well, then they changed their mind. They didn't rebook. They didn't honor the excursions. But we had booked an excursion with a plane at 1 o'clock. And I called them and said, left messages and like, are you flying? Because at 6:30 in the morning, the cloud ceiling was a couple hundred feet. And apparently they only lost their first flights. And we had booked for one. By that time it was 10,000 feet. So, and they allowed us by 9:30 or 10, we could get off the boat, but you had to walk through the mud. So we called Uber to come get us on the other side of the mud.
Good thinking.
It said that worked for me.
You mean on the side that you didn't have to walk through the mud?
Yes. We're over here.
That was a big scam at the race. They didn't want you to use an Uber to get anywhere near it. They wanted you to go like satellite lots, you know, and then shuttle. Except they had that a little messed up. They didn't all have shuttles. So all these guys on those pedicabs, $30 a head to go like a mile.
They wouldn't let Uber in.
They really wanted you to take, but it was really poor. The shuttle piece of it was really poor. It wasn't clear what lots you had to.
Is that the city of Miami, or is that somebody else that runs it?
I think it was. Well, no, it had to be whatever the Formula One organizing committee was, and they probably had to negotiate with the city as to, you know, the police and all that.
Whatever they use for season.
You had to buy these, no cash. You had to buy digital parking passes for these lots. No cash in the stadium.
That's the way that we went to the Phillies game last year, the same thing. Okay.
There was a coffee shop. You know, like a Starbucks, but it wasn't. It was Joe's Juice and thing. I don't know. I guess they're Starbucks. You know, it's like it looked like a Starbucks type of thing. I go in, I order coffee, pull up. Oh, we don't take cash. I looked at the girl and said, "It's gotta be tough to get tips."
Yeah.
Well, maybe they get more tips because people are maybe more inclined to. My kids never have cash. It's like, well, you know, you valet parked your car. This guy wants some money.
And there's sometimes you just don't want people to know where you've been, you know?
Right. Track all that data.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking at vehicles on the internet, and not even a half hour later, on my Alexa Echo, coming up different ads for vehicles. They're listening to me.
So I had pre-ordered 2 years ago Cadillac Lixor. There are all electric Cadillac. Lyric.
All electric,
Yeah. So last week it comes in. I said, I want it. The guy got all pissed at me. He said, well, I ordered exactly the way you wanted. I said, I ordered that in August of 22. Since then, I bought another car.
Wow.
You know, things are like, whoa, you know, but you know, what am I going to, it's like, I don't know.
That's a long.
August of 22.
That's a long wait.
That's another, my sister's husband Bob has one.
Yeah?
He recently got it. And I was looking at it. Unbelievable.
They're beautiful cars.
And all the gadgetry and technology doesn't even look like a car dashboard.
What's the range on those?
So my Mustang is like 280, fully charged. So I think it's, they're all around that number. If they're full electric, you know.
But that serves you for almost everything
Oh, for Marco, it's great.
for you want. I mean,
You couldn't go to Miami and back.
You're getting charging anxiety on the way home. Depending on, you know, because it's not only the miles, right? It's the temperature, how much AC, how much stop and go, how you brake, you don't brake, you know.
Yeah, they don't recharge much 70 miles an hour or 75 miles an hour on the throughway. Stop and go they do, but
But I was thinking, you know, because I really like the look of the car a lot. I'm like, if I could get rid of my Mercedes, but why would you want to drive, drive from Florida to PA? It'd be like 8 stops.
Yeah, it would take you a week.
8 stops to recharge, even the fast charge, and the fast charges don't, they limit you to like 60 or 70% because it overheats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can't fully charge on the fast charger.
How long does it take to get a fast charge?
Like 20 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty good though.
Yeah, but
What would that cost as far as electric-wise compared to like gas? I mean,
I don't know.
When you do the fast charge, is it more expensive to do that than?
Yeah, well,
it's electric, it's free.
no, you got to pay.
I
like water?
talked to Eileen.
not like
She
water?
said it's free.
It's like water is free.
Look
And
at-
air. Air is free
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Unless you have to put it in the tire.
It's $2 to.
I don't know. It's just like, my white car. I get 500 some miles between. And if I'm alone, when I was driving back and forth alone,
One stop.
you got it. Tank's empty. I better stop. And that would have been at least 2 stops.
Yeah. I think hybrid makes sense to me.
Somebody didn't tell the government that wanted to pick winners and losers.
I just think hybrid is the kind of trying to get the best of both worlds. Because if there's a storm or
Grid goes out.
or something, then you're really stuck. And I don't think people like that risk. I don't know.
I had this conversation with the yoga ladies.
But who?
Yoga ladies.
Yoga ladies. And they said, well, what happens if we run out? Like I said,
You're not getting a 5-gallon can and walk into the nearest gas station.
well, I did give them a solution. I said, well, you can call AAA, and they'll come with the rollback, put it on there, and take it to someplace if it's open and get it charged. And then you pay them, and then pay the charge, and you can go on. I said, but they said, there's no other way. I said, well, there is. In your trunk or SUV in the back, you could have a generator that generates 220 volts and have a lot of extra gas and drive with it. And I said, so you can supplement yourself to get to some place so you can pull over and charge it. I said, so you don't have to count on AAA, but that's your. So if you think you're saving the green gas emissions, God love you. I said, where do you think they're making the electricity? At the nuke plant or the coal or the oil-fired one?
No, you got that right.
Oh, I saw a statistic in our lecture series. Globally, they said sustainable energy, all these countries.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. And the guy said, so, and here's the percentage of what that sustainable energy is. Hydro, waterfalls. And I'm thinking, when was the last time they built a hydro plant in the U.S.?
Just knocked all the dams out.
Yeah. I'm going, so the rest of the world is using sustainable energy. The predominant leader is hydro.
Well, Austria is like 60-70% stable, but it's almost all hydro and some wind.
Yeah.
But they got mountains.
Yeah. Yeah.
Snow that mountains.
And water.
The mountains in Hawaii,
Yeah.
the guy was telling me how sustainable they are. I said, how much is hydro? I don't know if there are any. What am I missing is falling 14,000 feet and you don't know how to.
Not my backyard.
Okay.
What I mean, when Stan were here, they finally brought online those new reactors in, what is it, Southern Power in Georgia. It's like 20 years to build it, and it's like $30 billion or something. Some people miss things.
How long they've been running the submarines on nuclear?
Admiral Rick.
50?
I'd say so.
Okay.
More than 70s, right?
Yeah, the guys that we hired. So I started.
Jimmy Carter was in that.
76, and we hired a whole bunch of guys out of the Navy.
Jimmy Carter was in that when he
Right,
was in it.
and so they would have been like 76. So they were probably a couple years older than me because they graduated and had to do their time. So it had to be, mid 60s to, when Rick Over, I think, fully converted.
That's my recollection.
Well, and then, okay. So
How
you're right.
often do they refuel?
Well, then you have circles, right?
No, they don't. We'll see in 3 months.
But like when you had a hurricane like Ian or Irma down in Florida, people charge you fill your car up, and that's how you charge your cell phone and your computer and stuff. You go out and run the car, or get cool. Go out and run the car for an hour.
Yes.
That'll work for a couple days.
Yeah, well, in the interface unit that plugs into the car to get you to 220 or 120 it's not a big, you just can't do too many things.
Well, yeah, so some of the newer ones you can now plug back into your house, right? And you can run a fridge or
That's what I was.
And then you have this, all these data centers because of all the AI computing. Those suckers, I mean, they didn't even factor that into the grid demand.
No.
And that's like small cities when you build a big data
The
center.
Bitcoin and everything. Bitcoin.
Yeah, the Bitcoin mining. Yeah.
Yeah, Bitcoin and AI. NVIDIA, the chip maker, when you look at their products and their energy consumption, it's just like John said, it's very significant. But that's an efficient process. I mean, it just takes a lot.
The whole AI thing just scares me. It's just like the internet, it can do a lot of good things, but there's a lot of evil people out there that figure out how to do bad things.
Oh, yeah. And those will happen before the good ones.
Right, so I'm just very leery of the AI. I mean, it's a great thing, but
I need to search, gentlemen.
Nothing for me.
No?
No. Just a check.
God.
Yeah, I think it's. I can see it, because there's some folks I'm, interacting with that are trying to work little AI into their. It's fundamentally engineers cannot write very well. So when you see a startling good piece like an award-winning.
Grammar's all right.
Well, the use of the excessive use of adjectives I mean, it's like two, three in a row. I mean, if you want to really blast out there was, and I was doing the students that are getting their green card, they're applying to citizenship, to get the green card, to graduate and get their green card. Some of the lawyers are using these because you have to do the write-up, and they suggest what the write-up should be, to be supportive. And these are people, frankly, that have worked really hard, and they didn't just tromp across the border. They've been here, they're working hard, and can contribute. Yeah. But one of the last, I should show you this thing that came from is I could not believe, and I'm going to sign off on the number of adjectives and the flurry. Nobody is that good. Period. It can't be. Where on earth did it? And I'm thinking, because the lawyers that handle these cases normally are not that literate with it. They're lawyers and they can
get out of their legalese.
Yeah, they do. And this was. So what I did, I got it over to PDF and put it in, and it put the AI instructions to tone this down. And then it toned it down some, but not enough. And that's okay. You do not offend AI when you say when you go back. Do it some more. Dumb it some more. And it's not. But I had because it just wasn't. But I
We don't want an A+. We want a B-.
They wanted an article written, so if you want something, then you kind of have to do it yourself. You know how that works, an article. So I did, and then it comes back to me. It's too long. Okay. Now it's a pain in the neck to write stuff, and it's too long. So I'll finish this quick. So I said, well, how long do you want it? Politely.
Yeah.
And they said 400, maybe 400 words. So I put it into the AI with the request, pull this down to 400 words. It come back with 401. I mean, it was that precise. They knocked it back and figure out what we need to give you here.
So there was an article, I don't know where I read it, where they've now used it. You can have a mate on AI, and apparently it gets incredibly steamy.
Oh.
So you can have like a sensual relationship with a chatbot on AI. That apparently learns and gets progressively
learns what you like. Yeah, that would fit. It definitely learns quickly.
Yeah.
Preferences and.
Where did I read that? It was somewhere. I think it was in the Wall Street. It was written a little tongue in cheek, but I mean it was.
No, pair that with the photo, artistic, the artwork. You could get something 3D. I don't know about. I haven't tried 3D, but that could.
I can go either way.
What do we want to do? We're doing cash?
It's probably the easiest to have it.
All right, how much?
35.
35? 40?
No, just 35, so I'll just put that in so make sure
There you go.
Just give me 10.
Yeah, I'll be back in 10 minutes. See you tomorrow.
We're doing 40.
You're not getting stuck, are you?
You can be like my kids, they never have cash.
Yeah. I have
How do
20.
you expect to get a car from the valet without cash? And then Brent was looking at me and said, "There's an ATM over there."
Yeah.
You know, I paid the whole weekend. You know.
Maybe that's part of their scheme. What do you think?
ATM over there.
Who's collecting?
Well, you're all welcome back to my house for cigars,
Thought you never asked.
or beverage, or both.
Yeah, it's pretty early to go to bed, even by Marco's standards. It's not even midnight. Brenda said, "How are you going to stay awake?" I mean, we didn't get to dinner until like 9 o'clock any night last week. So you got back from the roost. You do that? I was exhausted.
I guess you weren't getting a nap at the races.
You know, there was a guy. I don't know if he was napping or he's passed out like 3 rows in front of us. And there's people coming in and trying to get around him, and finally someone shook him.
Wow.
It was.
I'm getting good at that. I can pretty much
I
take them
can-
out. Actually, I just had a baseball game. Next day,
Freddie goes, "Maybe you had earplugs in." I said, "Yeah, right."
After
See the debris around his feet.
if you have a big lunch,
seems like 4 o'clock. Seems
if
like
you have a
really good nap
big
time.
lunch, there's a little window there where you get a little.
Doesn't have to be long. It's enough. Good. They were down by 3. They came back to 1. He had a single, double, triple.
Wow.
So all of a sudden, and he had a triple the other night. He grew.
Who's this?
Liam.
Oh.
He grew from last year being a little small point guard to he's like 6'1".
6'1".
Yeah, but his feet,
Oh, that's right. I've
but
seen
his
him.
feet got big, but he couldn't run
It's
anymore.
his coordination
So now
has
it's caught up,
coordination has to catch
Yeah,
up.
all of a
That's
sudden he's,
with everybody.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
That's a neat story that you were telling before.
Now golf. Golf is his
Is this okay or do you want in the bar?
thing for the next 3 months.
Maybe you can substitute him in when Tom's off that week. You know.
He only likes to play Northampton. He's got pretty high taste.
Oh.
Nobody likes it.
He doesn't- His buddy belongs to Northampton. And he gets to go to the club. He's on Marianne. You know, Marianne, you would really like it there. The pool is so nice and the people are so
Are we all set?
Yeah, we're good.
No change. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy your night, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
I grew up on South Side Eastern. I don't think I'm going to be at Northampton this time in my life.
This is a good restaurant pick.
So what's the best way to your house? Up 33 and 22?
William Penn.
Oh, William Penn?
Just go down to. It's not the first light. I guess it is. You make a left at the light getting out of here and go
Yeah.
down to Notre Dame. You make a right at Green Pond Road.
Yeah, right after the blue.
Oh, okay.
Or right before the blue.
Yeah, and just follow that all the way to like that, right? Those.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you
Yeah.
go straight across at NACAC's old and new campus.
Yeah.
You go through that and straight across, and that road goes right up to me within a house.
All right.
Sounds like a plan, Irish.
For a cigar. Give it a try. No?
Just tell Paul that.
Bob, I have some I roll.
That's my, you know, actually, I was thinking of asking my doctor about that.
Oh, you can get it for sure.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking.
All righty.
They interact with the vet. I don't know if it was just timing.
The Phillies have been doing pretty good.
Mets are playing really good for 8 innings. Ninth inning hasn't been very good for them.
Do you think? Oh,
And
thanks,
a good
Irish.
time was had by all.
Yes, it was. An excellent time. Excellent pick.
Yeah, it worked out well. Your idea? Your idea?
Yeah, I was trying to figure something that was in between. 'Cause I knew I didn't know how long the game would go. It bothers me.
Thank you.
The Keystone, something that gets so crowded you can't even get in there.
No, this is perfect because they weren't crowded really.
Salmon good?
Oh,
If you come here on
was
Friday
super.
night or Saturday, forget it.
Here, yeah.
no, the salmon was very, very good. Just right. See you there. No, after I sit for a while, you got to stretch to get out of that table thing.
Oh,
That was
that's
perfect.
John.
Perfect. That's John's rental?
No. That's his car. He has two in the garage up here.
Oh.
BMW and that. BMW convertible and
Wonder what year Bob's car is. It's in super good shape.
90 something.
No kidding. Whoa, there's a lot of room here to park.
I know he's looking.
Why? Just high mileage or?
Yeah.
If I had that car, I wouldn't be looking. With decent mileage, I mean, at a certain point, the repairs start to hurt you. I think.
Oh,
It's
John's
almost a
behind.
classic car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's with the air vents on. I don't know what you call them. The air vents on the side.
We have a guy in the electrical group that comes back for a monthly. We get together, and he's always showing up in some old Cadillac that he picked up. Just they don't make them like this anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And he's probably the latest, up to date, of all the electrical power guys. He's into the electronics and the technology. And but a character. Sitting around with 6 to 8 electrical engineers that worked on these huge projects throughout the world, and the stories, you know, that, do you remember here? Do you remember he was driving and we're going through Mexico and he wants to bribe the, and we're all fearing for our life. And the guy goes, "Thank you, sir. Have a good day."
No, there's a lot.
I said, so when you're exposed to a culture that's dealing internationally And then you hear some of the U.S. propaganda about, well, it was a bribe. That's how the rest of the world does business.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
You know, and you go, okay.
That doesn't look like it's doing too good.
It's
Faro
hanging
Garden.
on there. I
Faro
guess,
Garden Center. Famous.
Yep, I think they're waiting for whoever's running it to die.
Oh, okay.
And have been for the last 20 years.
Oh, okay. Good. This brings back a lot of nice memories. Just be near Notre Dame here. I don't get over this way, so. And
They're trying to straighten part of the development around the golf course. They wanted him to fix Green Pond Road.
Yep.
And you could see where they're trying to move the road.
Little at a time.
But
But some of these old houses, I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to do this. Not easy at all.
And I mean, I looked down there and I said, yeah, I don't think they put 2-foot pillars, 2-foot square pillars as the driveway, the back driveway into Moravian. I don't think they put that one pillar in the water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somehow I think the pond has grown.
Yep. So soon we may hear about Bill.
Yes.
I don't want to. I didn't want to. You and I,
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up at dinner because there's nothing we can do. Right at the moment, it's positive and it creates a worrisome environment.
You just wanted to know.
But I'm sitting here with you,
Yeah.
who I'm very close with, and this comes in and out of my mind, and but I didn't want it to.
Yeah, we're all having a good time.
Don't spoil
seeing each other.
Don't spoil the.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing creative or constructive by bringing up a lot of worry, with no knowledge of anything. I mean, I hope you get my point. It's just like,
Yep.
let's just wait till we know something, and hopefully it's all good news.
Now
I can remember Ryan playing soccer over there.
Yep.
I mean, all the memories of Northampton too.
They don't even play over there anymore. This is the soccer field.
The lucky people, the smart people. I shouldn't say lucky, smart. Get a piece of land, flat and big.
They bought 3 farms when they built.
And then smart and big, flat, and then the design, a concentration of space where you can have stuff surrounded by as much parking as you can fit. Now, Lehigh is the exact opposite, not by plan, but the way it evolved, and it's a shame.
Well, how many cars were around in 1860?
It's just.
But have they done anything to maintain parking?
It's
from the 60s.
The thing that is somewhat annoying to me, but it doesn't matter really, is that like across the street from where I work was parking, and then they built. In other words, 3 new buildings have all removed parking.
Yeah.
And now, probably don't get to it, but there's a CVS on 8th Avenue, if you've ever been. But behind it is a St. Luke's Medical Building Center, at which St. Luke's bought the land off to Steele, I imagine, and then built the building. But the first level of the building is parking.
Yeah.
So it's just no big deal. Just like you start the building, one thing up. And if like I just done that, and I don't think it's just not that complicated, and it's a dorm
Or
they're building.
costly.
No, it just isn't. And then you have. I think that the architect they were using did Arizona, like the University of Arizona. No, excuse me, Arizona State. When you're down there, it's flat.
Yeah.
People ride bikes. It's flat, so you can get you're mobile in a variety of ways.
Okay.
And then they also have parking garages, but you're not when all the hills and all. You're just not. It's not the same. You can't ride a bike anyhow.
You want your coffee?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take that in. Thank you.
Probably hear that every day you get home. Yeah, they stay on.
I'm gonna get a cigar, Irish.
I don't know who's drinking it. Do you want decaf?
I'm good. I got my own stuff.
No, do you want decaf coffee?
No, I have it. I brought decaf.
Gotta have that reserve in the car, huh?
Yeah.
Just an addition.
She screwed up her knee, or her leg, about a year ago. A year and a half ago. And they were thinking about moving. And they hit the real estate market. Not doing that. So they said, well, the washer and dryer in the basement, Master bedroom's on. We'll just blow out the pack and build an addition.
A good solution. Cheaper.
And it's cheaper. That's the
You
frustrating.
don't have to move your furniture. Just
No.
have to move from there to there.
So she bought more furniture.
Oh.
Furnished that. I have some cigars here, and I have more in the basement, and I have more ashtrays. I have diet birch beer.
Hi.
Okay.
I have the little packets of instant, and that plus a little hot water, and I am out of the tap, and I am content.
I bet you don't even burn your lips.
No, it's perfect temperature for me. I mean, it's not fussy, and it's quick. It's quick and it's nice.
So did you give all your cigars to Tommy or?
No, Pat Brock's when I gave my cigar, my cutter, my lighters.
Really?
Would you give up cigars?
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't
Spent
there.
a couple days with John Heath when he was in the hospital.
Oh.
I tell you,
Yeah.
he was he quit smoking cigarettes a long time ago, but still smoking cigars.
Yeah.
I know he inhaled them and
Yeah.
anyway, kind of thought it would be a better idea.
How's he doing? No.
Not well. I mean, he's got a lot of. He's probably not going to get better. He'll always be on oxygen, and his levels were so high. It was sad. It was sad. Kind of like the same thing with Bill. It's like you don't expect it, and when you see it, and it's like, holy Christ, it's like.
Now is he at home?
No, he just went into a rehab at Moravian with Patty and Sue.
Yeah.
They moved down there.
Right. Yeah.
So this is Patty tried to get him in here 3 weeks ago when we were down there, and there was no room.
It works,
So she had to put
Henry.
him into another place, which was terrible. And then he went.
Ah,
and
good.
didn't
So did
work
mine.
at all.
That's it,
Really
yeah.
can't do
It works?
We have
Can't
dueling
get up.
lighters.
Has to be helped up. Even his
That was
personal.
really fast, though, right?
Yeah. The radiation that he had on his lungs back in November, it took a while, but they develop a lot of scar tissue. The scar tissue is such that it makes the
Exchange.
lungs,
The exchange of the.
they just can't work anymore. And his heart's not good. It's affecting a lot of different things. His mind is a little, has the medications and stuff.
God, that's.
That's awful.
Still watches Fox News though all day long.
He likes Fox News?
Oh yeah, that's all he has.
Well, now somebody might say, well, if his mind isn't working right, then he's a good consumer. I wouldn't say that, but somebody could take a shot, right?
How about the Weather Channel, John, just for an hour?
So Brenda had me go to this. You've all been to the botanical gardens, I think, on one of your visits.
Yeah.
Marco, well, they had a Hats in the Garden.
Hats in the garden.
Hats in the Garden, so it was their annual fundraiser. And so all the women had to wear, like, derby type style hats, fancy hats. So Brenda convinces me I would go with her. So there were 750 people, maybe 50 guys. 700 women from Naples.
Wow.
But I went because Brett Baer was the MC.
Oh.
Turns out Brett Baer's mother-in-law was the head of this charity, this gala. So she brought him there. So anyway.
Did you find some guys you smoke cigars with? Or?
It was
Come on, guys.
4 hours of pure hell. You had to wear like a jacket and not a tie, but you had to wear a jacket.
Was it a dinner or just a...
It was the daytime. It was like 10 to 4 or 10 to 3.
The botanical garden is nice, though.
Yeah, I know, but it was like, in a coat and tie. Well,
dressed up dressed up with 700 people. I guess it's not.
And then, of course, every woman from Naples was trying to outdo the other woman. It was hilarious, actually. I was at a table with one other guy and like 12 women.
Ay, John.
And everywhere you looked. We had to suffer through a fashion show. And I'm some big-time designer. I'm looking at this and saying, well, okay, there's a lot of money in this crowd. There isn't anything these models wear on the runway that anyone would buy down here. I mean, it's like winter shit, and the models are so thin,
Yeah, they missed their
So how
they
many
totally
brownie-
missed
how
the
many brownie
market.
points do you build up for something like that? That
Not
should
enough.
be good for like
No.
a week's vacation.
At least a
right?
couple rounds of golf.
I'd go on a trip. I'd be on a golf trip with that money.
No, I've gotten Brenda she's playing twice a week right now.
You want me to switch?
Oh, that's nice.
I'm fine now. I went.
Sure. Okay.
Sounds second-handed.
I'm thinking of acting.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, oh boy.
Yeah, but you can't go home smelling like this.
I was saying that
That was your story before John got there.
before you got there, John. I was saying
Cigar.
the women, of course, are overnight, but we're talking about what causes you to cut back on smoking. Well, actually, I'd like to think it was me, but in reality, it's Lynn's incredible sense of smell, unbelievable sense of smell, and the only
she doesn't have a sense of smell. She just knows to call you out on it because 9 out of 10 times
But if
you're guilty.
if you get
I'm joking.
no, it's on the front porch. We have a bench there and so forth. If the weather's like this, it's warm, you'd be out there. And if she's gone to bed, then I can be there and get the smoke.
Bothering you?
And otherwise, she smells it
Not yet.
on me,
I'm hoping it doesn't bother me at all.
and I get bitched at. And I don't want to do that.
So I've convinced Brenda it's the bug repellent. So when it's usually when I'm golfing, I better light one up. All these little gnats.
Well, I better. I've tried that before. I think I'll resurrect it. Try it again.
It does work. I mean, it's legit.
Yeah, they never come near me.
Yeah, it definitely works.
But I had. I was selling Bill. I had a car. A smoking car, like a train. A smoking car. that you drive over to Lehigh, and I could have a cigar on the over because I had all day, or a good part of the day, to air, and then, but I couldn't smoke on the way back because then in the house, and then this was an extra car. Was it? Was like John has a lot of cars. This was not a good car like his, but it was an extra car, and one time we were had some cars in the shop, and this was the car it was the car we needed to take.
Oops.
Yes. And she got in, got right out. It was like, I'm not going, we're not going. This is like, protest. Because it had to. So that was life. But that car eventually got phased out. But that worked pretty well. I mean.
One-way smoker.
Yeah, it was a one-way smoking car. I mean.
See, my neighbor, I've never seen his top up. But I've always seen him in his convertible with a cigar.
When he's driving?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep. I don't know how many holes he's burned into this, into the leather. But yeah, I mean, for the how long? We've been in the house 13 years. He's been there at the same time. First he had a Prowler, and now he has one of the BMW convertibles.
Was it a purple Prowler?
No, it's a red one.
Red one, huh?
Yeah.
I remember a purple Prowler on the island.
And I bet this guy smokes a box a day. I've never seen him without a cigar.
Wow.
But he solved the driving problem. To just have a convertible.
Yeah, there you go.
Blows all. It's like a golf cart.
That solves it. That solves it. I think in Marco too, they were the occasion to drive turnpike speeds is not that. I mean, you're not going. You're going at a reasonable speed because it's around town driving. I don't know how this would work. I don't know how it would work on like
22.
That's a problem.
I don't know.
I've burned a couple of shorts. The new like.
The thin.
The performance material
They
stuff.
go quick.
Oh man! All of a sudden, there's this big hole.
Yeah.
I mean, it just melts.
A couple of shirts that the same thing. Just one gets on. Oh, shoot, that's done.
Yeah, it's gone.
Throw it away because he'll go like.
No, that's amazing fabric, but it's got its own drawbacks.
You have a ropes course now, or what? What for the kids?
I attach their swing.
Oh, I thought they had a climbing rope thing.
No.
Cirque du Soleil.
I tie it off the
Oh,
two things hanging down from the tree limb.
Oh, it won't be long before they'll be climbing up there. Get to the top of the tree.
You could put a zip line in, Irish. You know that.
Yeah.
Looking at that tree.
Yeah, right to your neighbor's new house.
Yeah, ask him if you can borrow a corner.
There used to be a cable that went from the second floor deck off our bedroom to the back corner of the lot.
For what?
And it was a dog run. So Murphy weighed 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he passed, and 25 years later, they attached one of the either copper or Jameson to it,
Yeah.
and it just hit the stop, and it just took that 4x4 and just snapped it at the ground level.
Wow.
I said, okay, so much for being pressure treated to last forever.
And thanks for organizing the dinner, Irish. And I guess, Bob, you were a co-organizer. But,
Yes.
Good idea.
And what did you end up? I didn't pay enough attention to the discussion on the 40th.
Well, we came up with that, and what are your thoughts? Umbrellas, blankets, coolers, mugs.
Cooler was a good idea. You had that before. That was
Cooler?
yeah, coolers.
I think you
Side, hard side.
you don't think hat is
We were probably gonna get, depending what we got, we were gonna get like Well, they probably only need one of these per family, and then just get 40 or 50 hats and just.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me because if you were asking for people's input.
What is the little, the kids? Well, you can't call them little kids. Owen's, I guess, the smallest at 8 months or something. You know, the rest are 5 on up to adulthood. And when's Matt getting married?
July 6th. Yeah. So, a little less than 2 months. I was with him today at the track meet. He was there with Les.
He's moving to Cleveland, you said?
Yep.
He's going to Cleveland?
Yep, that's where his wife's going to law school. So he's going to move out there with her and start their life out together there.
So we'll go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great place.
I saw a picture. I was storing through some things, and it was Matt at the shore with a piece of construction equipment that they had across the street from a place we rented.
Oh, I remember
that.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to leave. He wanted to get in it, didn't want to leave. And it was then, you know, in life you do certain things that you probably shouldn't have, but it solved the problem. I said to him, well, you could just play on it next year. Now, he didn't remember that, but the likelihood of the piece of construction.
That's creative, Emery.
Well, it got him. We were packing up. We were packing up to leave, and he was trying. And it was, you know, it was a, you know, one of those family things where the little tug of war to get people pried off of something. But it bothered me at the time, but it seemed like a solution. Yes, as you said, John. So it stuck with me. This is like, you know, why did I do that? Why did I do that?
Over 15 years ago, I would think.
Oh yeah.
How old is Matt? 20?
21.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that's.
Where's his wife to be going to school? What
Case Western.
Oh, Case Western. Yeah, it's a good school.
It is a good school. I don't know the law school, but it's a good school. Oops.
Uh-oh.
Was she from Lafayette?
Yes. Red River from Lafayette.
Nobody's saying that's a good school.
Ted's not here.
Yeah, anyhow. That's that.
No
There.
update, huh? No. Did you get an update from Linda? No.
There's many lawyers that have liberal arts degrees. There's not a whole bunch that have engineering.
Nope.
Patent attorneys, maybe.
Yep.
Is she an engineer?
That's about it.
No, patent attorneys do.
You know, I don't even know what. I think she's pre-law, but I could be wrong.
Not too many doctors that are lawyers, or lawyers that are doctors, I guess.
No. Except the one firm in Philly that has 5 or 6.
They're always
They're advertising that.
Yeah.
10 doctors that are lawyers.
Oh, the ads. The ads. You know, did you stub your toe? Did you whatever, you know?
When did lawyers start?
Advertising. We used to be illegal, I believe. And then the law changed. And then that opened the floodgates.
Man, I don't know, but in Florida, where we are,
Oh my God.
that's all you see is commercials. for
Bargain and
attorneys.
bargain, and every other version of.
Ticket King. Guys,
Yeah.
you get a ticket,
Yeah.
call us up, we'll get you off.
And it's always this attorney Joe Schmo got me this amount of money, and thank you, Joe Schmo.
You look at the picture of Joe, you're like, I don't want Joe's right.
Yeah.
I think I've told you this, but one of the kind of best pieces of advice, I guess, for legal work that I got, that's a little piece of advice, was from an engineering lawyer. I think, and it was, we were having dinner, and I was doing my deposition work the next day, and this is a good. His lawyer was MIT mechanic on Harvard Law. He was a smart guy. And I said, Bob, his name was Bob. Bob, is there any last advice? You know, what do you have before? Because they can't. It's different when you're doing deposition, as you probably know. You can't. The lawyer can't intervene as much. It has to be a pretty flagrant issue so you're on your own more. And he says, yeah. Do you know what time it is? Did I tell this before? Do you know what time it is? I told you.
No.
You know and I looked at my watch. I said, it's 8:30. He says, that's the wrong answer. I thought, what the H is going on here? And
Giving them too much information.
the correct answer is yes.
That's it.
And I tell that to the students every year because when I do ethics, how do you represent your company? You want to just, because there's a tendency, young engineers have a tendency to, just say too much. I'm sitting. This is the. So this was actually the dinner was at the Princeton Club. There was about $35 million lawsuit. It was a patent infringement. But I'm there in the paneled room, and this was like a PhD. But the lawyer that wrote the patent is across from me. It's about almost an inch thick. It was a effing big. But it was a technology area that I was familiar with. So he's quizzing me with his laptop and all this. End of the table is the stenographer that's doing the record. It takes his deposition, so they got to get all that right. Now, next to him is 4 other lawyers. Okay. I thought that's running up to billing hour. But then
it's 250, 500, 750, partner 1500.
Right. Now, but actually they had a function. They are scrolling. I didn't realize it right at first. They're scrolling up and down through my testimony. They're real time with the stenographer. They're scrolling up and down, fishing for and feeding questions to the lawyer that's quizzing me, because they're trying to develop. They're trying to insert. They're trying to build. Strengthen. Yeah, you know what I mean, John. They're trying to, and so this is really pretty. See. And I said to him afterwards, because I couldn't talk to him during the thing. He's sitting with me, but I can't. That was the best cotton picking advice you could have, because I really watched it. About 2 hours in, this thing ran about 6-7 hours. It was like paneled room, very nice, and brought in lunch. But there was a guy came in, and he sat down, and he read the Wall Street Journal for about 2 hours. I'm guessing that, but sort of that. Was read the Wall Street Journal. Kind of like John to read the Wall Street Journal. And then he left. He didn't have any interaction, really. And at the end, we were doing debriefing. I said, Bob, by the way, who was that came? And he says, that's one of the guys' name on the door. He's like the partner. He's the name on the door. He's just putting in some billing hours. I thought, because that's like engineering consulting. I thought some things in the world never change. That's what he was doing, because he could, I guess. I don't believe that he had any particular role in this, but anyhow, that's the engineer. The lawyers that are engineers, I think, have a role, particularly with patent work, that's very important, because the lawyers that are liberal arts, following a complex patent is not something that you want to take to. And this actually went to trial, and trying to explain issues to the jury. Yes.
That ought to be mind-blowing.
Yes, it's the attention. I don't want to go. I'm not going to talk about it, but it's not. It's frustrating. It's like it's another. It's not the high point of the law of how that works, but eventually, you get to it. Everybody's sort of worn out, and you get a settlement, right, John? That's the way it gets settled. You don't have to go it all the way through. It gets settled.
I had a funny experience similar to that where we were it was during the air gas saga that I lived through, and we were at this big dinner in New York with a bunch of investors who wanted us to make a higher offer because they own shares of air gas. And they're spending, I mean, it's just like, we're just going around in a circle, you know. And our lead investment banker is a name Emery will know, Joe Perella.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a table of maybe a dozen people. So it's mostly myself and the CFO of Air Products at the time facing off against 3 or 4 of these investors. And we're just like, no. How many different ways do you say no? We're not. We've got, we got a fair offer on the table. Tell McCausland to agree. So this is going on for a couple hours over a very nice dinner, right? Perella's sitting at the far end of the table, doesn't say anything. He had just gotten a new iPad that day. So he's sitting there playing with his iPad the whole time. It's like, what are we paying you for? Will you jump in here? So it's just going on and on and like, out of nowhere, he looks up and he says, what the fuck don't you guys understand? They're not paying any more money. And he goes back to his iPad. and for another hour, we did the same thing. Then he gets up and says, time to go. My driver's here. It was surreal.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Of course, I would have liked to have said that, but couldn't.
That's not bargaining.
Yeah, I was thinking it.
We're definitely thinking it.
John, that would have been not bargaining in good faith. If you said
That was
it.
hilarious. I'll never forget that. It's like my address in Taiwan. I won't forget that either. I'll probably forget everything else. I'll be in some memory unit and they go, Chung Sung Peru, Chi Tuan, or he, nobody will know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's babbling.
He's
babbling
You got one when you got in the cab. You got to go.
Give him more meds.
Where you going?
Oh, jeez. So hats are on the table still. That's good. I think that's a nice.
I was thinking with the hats, I don't know if we can get something different, but if we had Nogo Homies on the front of the hat, we could insert a 40, make one of the O's in Nogo Homie.
Oh, that's cool.
4 for 40th, and we could tie in the 40th that way.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, Bob.
It
Yeah.
shouldn't take too much to do, I wouldn't think.
No, that's clever. That's the kind of little novelty flavor to it. Because
Put a little, you know how the hats come
On the
with little
back.
flags on the back? You put a little
We could put the
flag
Nogo
on it.
Homie
Yeah, that's what I meant.
brand on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
and then you could on the
Pretty
back.
soon it'll be a $90 Ferrari hat from the Formula One race.
Get some Goodyear
We
ones.
got a deal on the hats for
I could
$12.
get Goodyear hats for
We'll
$8
just
a
change
hat.
the letters around.
On the back, you put the political slogan of your choice. I'm just kidding. That is not good. Oh, Jesus. But something like that, Irish, would be nice. And, to casual wear is this kind of. It's a kind of a bonding thing. It's a nice.
I don't know if I said this when we were in Marco, but remember the cigar I don't digress in politics, but remember that time we were at Rehoboth and we're all smoking and walking down the cancer
the
guy.
cancer walk.
Right. Well, that was probably in poor taste, but we didn't really understand why they were on our street that day. But anyway,
We were there first.
that road, the intersection is where Biden fell on the bike.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Smoking a cigar?
I don't know. So this was 2 years ago, whenever he fell. So if you go there, I don't know if they erased it now. Somebody came out, and you know how they do at a crime scene?
Murdered the body.
They did
Oh, they
an
put the
outline
outline.
of the body right on the road in spray paint. It was hilarious.
The one guy that had it on the back of his truck. Remember, did you see that one? They had a picture of Biden. Like it looked like he was in a truck all tied up.
Oh,
Did you see that?
no.
Oh, that was all over the.
Oh, brother.
Well, this was, yeah, it was just hilarious, you know.
Well, at least it was in good humor, I guess you could say. But it's right down the street, though. Son of a gun.
Well, yeah, it was, well, so it was, you know, so if you went down that road in front of us, Columbia Avenue, that goes right down to the beach, and then you just take a quick little left, and that's about where we were walking, and that's
Got it.
where he fell. Brenda fell right there, too, but we didn't put an outline. She crashed into Zach one day riding a bike. We didn't put her outline down there.
No, I don't think that.
She was not a happy camper.
We went to the farewell concert the other night, Saturday.
Oh, yeah, Sue sent
for
a text.
Sanders.
How was it?
It was phenomenal.
Was it? That's really sad. That's the end of an era. Huh?
Oh yeah, 45 years worth.
Wow. I didn't know it was
But
that
I never
long.
saw so many people on the stage at Zollner. Singers, musicians. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Alumni. Anybody in the audience, the alumni was invited to come back up on stage. So there was. It was
Did Sue
packed.
go up?
No,
Yeah.
she's not really an alum.
Yeah, but if she sang in the...
Yeah, she did. But I guess
that's
they had
neat.
to draw the line because they figured that there's no way we're going to get him. You couldn't have shoehorned another person on that stage.
That's nice, Bob.
It was, and the show was excellent.
Great.
The place was packed. We had a park. We got the next to the last spot on the very top. The
Oh,
deck
my.
was all full.
In the Zollner garage.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think I ever parked up there.
Jumping around, did you see that the AARP is sponsoring the Rolling
Yeah, I
Stones
saw that.
and Rod Stewart tour?
Huh.
Oh my God.
Is there more story to it? They're just-
No, it's just that made AARP
Yeah.
sponsoring
Bad
a Rolling
Boys of Rock and
Stone.
Roll.
That's enough story. That's a story.
Everybody that's going to go.
That's a story in itself, John. Yeah, okay. I got it.
Actually, he's in Philly on June 10th or 11th. Oh, yeah, so I'm still, if you're interested, still doing the bus on the 9th
Okay.
for Matt's Day.
June 9th.
June 9th. It's a 3 o'clock performance. So, I mean, I was
Is
thinking
that
we
a
leave
Saturday or a Sunday?
Sunday. I was thinking we leave like 10 or 11 and we could have lunch.
Okay.
And then go to the performance and then just have roadies or goodies or whatever for the ride home. I'm going to get one of those, what are they, Sprinter vans or whatever,
Uh-huh.
that they seat like 14.
Yeah. John, Lynn was giving me the impression that she had gotten connected in with this. So I guess she's not. We have to get active on it. I don't
No,
think
I bought all the tickets. No,
Oh,
I
okay.
sent an email to everybody.
Okay, good. So that's
Yeah,
okay.
no, I
Good.
bought the tickets.
Okay.
And I just, we'll sort out the details. But I
Good.
was thinking like 10 or, it's a Sunday. It's probably, probably should plan on 2 hours, but it's probably less.
No,
Get
that's good, John.
So yeah. So if
Yeah,
we left at 11 and we'd be there 1, we'd have plenty of time to have a lunch.
And Sunday it shouldn't be too bad
Yeah.
traffic-wise,
Right.
right?
I thought that would be better than an evening. That gets to be a late night.
Yeah.
That's a great. No, I was really. I didn't. We are then connected in. I just misunderstood what you were saying there. But Lynn was handling the thing. But that'll be great. I think going into the afternoon. Why not? Because that way you're not. It's not real late.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
mean,
a-
8 o'clock performance. You're 1 in the morning. That's well past
Well, but it's just.
bedtime.
Be a
for
quiet
most
ride home.
But
It'd be a real quiet ride.
but there's nothing. What's wrong with the middle? It's not. It's a Sunday or whatever. It just sounds like a great way to do it. And I think having the, having a driver thing, you don't have to the parking, we've all had our parking fun in New York.
Remember the time we went
Hit the van.
to I think you guys were there when we went in to see Matt at some club in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had that big stretch and couldn't get around the streets.
Yeah.
I seem to remember a van where we ran into the ceiling somewhere. Maybe that wasn't New York.
Yeah, it was New York.
Bumped, like the
You guys got
clearance.
on their back bumper, right?
Yeah, that was it.
We had to
Pull out of the garage.
Yeah, had to get it pried back out.
That's because
Somehow.
the beer was all gone by then, so there wasn't the weight.
The weight wasn't that.
The weight wasn't in the rear.
That's probably had a lot to do with it.
Ballast was
No, I was driving that time. We ended up in the lobby, right? I mean, that was in Boston. Yeah, that was.
It's also the time we went in the tunnel and the signs were going, don't go in, not
Yeah.
not open to traffic or something.
Go back.
Yeah.
Turn around. Go back. Da-da, like that. Yeah, that was. Yeah, those were. But that I don't know if that was the one where the gas pedal come
That was
off
the
and
duct tape one, yeah.
it duct taped it on, and you know
That's
that's
really safe.
Well,
John.
Got us there.
for a
Hey.
while you were doing it by hand.
Yeah.
yeah. It was that was an
Pulling the cable.
that was an improvement, right, Irish?
Yeah.
That was a.
At least the guy with the wheel had control of the gas too.
Yes. It wasn't like fast or slower. It was voice activated with another co-pilot. Oh well.
Do your children know these stories?
Some.
Yeah, I had
Definitely not all.
Definitely not all.
How did you make it this far in life?
Definitely not all.
So I was, we always use my old MG, like Christmas for Santa.
Yeah.
You saw it with the leprechaun. So I finally took it over to the garage. So I get in the car, I start it up. And I'm, the drive, my drive's got just a slight slope. I go to put the brake, no brake,
Uh-oh.
no brakes.
Uh-oh.
Fortunately, it's stick, right? So you can.
Get it at a slow speed.
Yeah, and then, but I drove it all through town over there, which probably wasn't the safest thing. It was
Oh, man.
the emergency brake
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit here and there to.
What was the problem?
I don't know.
But you got it fixed.
It's in the man cave that's slowly,
Is
ever so
coming
slowly.
together?
Oh yeah. What's the status on that,
Well-
John? I didn't know you were putting together.
So the door's been ordered. So we got 4 of about 20 permits that we need. It's just
Jesus.
a disaster. But actually, the whole facade now fell, so that they're restuccoing that today, and then put a new door in shortly. And
Is that
We got-
still from the storm?
no,
Or
this-
just recent? Oh.
no, they had put I don't know why they did this. They put some ornamentation on the front. I don't know if you remember the building. It's just like a 20 by 30 by 20 block building.
Okay.
But they took the front of it and they put little fake windows type thing. I don't know what you want to call them. And they put a little bit of a nice dressing or molding all the way around. But they made it. What they did was they made it out of wood. So they boxed it out, framed it out, and then you just stuccoed over it. Well, apparently the moisture just got behind it at some point, and as we started to patch the stucco, basically the front fell off.
Surprise!
So it's well, good. I didn't like that crap anyway, so just make it flat.
Well, so you report that back. What happened there today, John? Well, the front of the building fell off. It's
It's an open air now.
Well, I mean, it just that fascia.
Yes.
Fascia fell off.
Yes.
I mean,
And when you say you ordered a door, like a garage door?
yeah, I had to get a new door. The door. Yeah. But I knew I was going to get a new door, and then to get the permit, I had to have a man door too, not only a garage door but a man door. Even though I had a garage door and a man door in the back, the fire guys wanted one in the front, and it couldn't be on either of the sides of the front because the how they ever permitted, I don't know, but it was legacy, I guess, grandfathered. I mean, literally, the walls on the property lines, so the door couldn't.
No setback
Couldn't,
at all, huh?
yeah. So no setback. So the door couldn't open up on the adjoining properties because all the Florida doors open out, right?
That John, I get in the is a guy responsible for building plants all over the world is now face to face with the Marco permitting process. You know? It must be a little frustrating for you.
Well, a lot of people get a cut of that pie then.
Oh, it's just each of those permits are like $1,000. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, what for? You know, we did all the drawings, we did all the work, and there's some guy doodles on it and then throws it back at you and says, you know, you missed these 20 things.
Revenue producing. That's what it is.
Holy mackerel.
So as I told Randy, who's doing it, I said, you know, I want to be around to enjoy this. You know, at the pace you're going, either you're going to time out or I am, because Randy's 3 or 4 years older than me.
Be a big tomb.
Yeah.
Good grief.
What's the penalty of doing it all without a permit?
Oh, rip it out. They'll have to rip it out.
No, they'll make you. And you know what? I mean, he said we can do a lot of
We have
it.
to send a guy there every day that you're there.
Oh, they're there. They are.
Really?
So I had these, they finally are building a house on that vacant lot across from the lot I turned
Into
Yes.
your
turned into our little park area or whatever you
park
want to call it.
area, yeah.
So I had these, Randy comes up with this, I used to have these little, the reflectors on a stick that you might put in so you know where the snow plows don't hit the,
Yeah.
the curbs or a fire hydrant or something. So they would constantly knocking those down, and I'm constantly buying new ones. So Randy comes up with this idea to put these 1/2-inch PVC pipe that stick up, 2 feet. But he put them every 2 feet. The code enforcement guy comes and says, "Look, those are obstructions in the right of way. You can only have a mailbox in the right of way." So I ignored it, and I got a second citation and a third. And then I was like, well, I think I'm going to court here. But then I didn't. But it's like,
This morning.
really, guys?
No.
What about the trucks and the trailers that are always in my right of way when you swing around and take my mailbox out or chew up the, but they don't, they don't care. They don't give a shit. They're just,
Yep.
and the builders don't give a shit either. A lot of times they just ignore it and then fight it or pay the fine in the end and then charge the owner. Like that lot. I mean, I bet they've had 24 citations already.
Oh yeah.
What are they building there? Pretty big house, or?
It's huge. I mean, they've used every, I probably did too, but you don't notice it now because of the spare lot. But when I built that, I didn't appreciate the poor guy on the right of me. I didn't really think about what, it wasn't malicious. I just didn't think about it. But now he's got another mammoth house on the other side of him. So now he's like
an Oreo.
squished.
Squeezed in there.
Housing to the right of me, housing to the left.
Yeah.
Stuffed Oreo.
And I tried to buy the lot. They just, wouldn't sell it. They're building their dream house, which is a huge house on a little lot.
Well, I could see how that could happen because your focus was on the land and the area and the.
Well, yeah, we were trying to orient the house to
the water,
maximize the view.
to the water and all
Right.
that, and the side is not. That isn't as high on the.
And I wanted a 3-car garage, which probably pushed it to the limits a little more. I mean, it was well within the setbacks, but I didn't.
Didn't scrimp on the square footage.
No.
Do you think Irish is getting a call on this stuff? No.
So do ladies rent rooms at the hotel or a room or?
They're doing whatever they're doing. It
There's
there's
a suite and there's an adjoining room to it, I guess.
but they're staying all night, right? That's,
Yes.
okay. That's what I thought.
You make them check all of their credit cards at home before stay out of the casino.
I don't think they do the casino other than maybe if they're going to have a meal there.
Not much of a gambling crowd there, is there?
No.
I can't remember the last time I've been in there. I don't even know what restaurants they even have there anymore. They used to have an Emerald there.
I don't know if he's there anymore.
I haven't been in.
The Italian guy's not there.
I used to go over to the outlets. I don't even go there anymore. There's nothing left.
The outlets are gone, pretty much.
Yeah. All the good stuff is gone.
The novelty, is diminished of having something like that in the Lehigh Valley.
They had Under Armour in there. They had Musin, a couple other.
They had a Bass Shoe outlet.
Bass Shoe, yeah, that was great.
Are those all gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Under Armour outlet was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are valid outlets too. I mean, there was a real true, the prices weren't down.
Good specials.
Wasn't a,
One outlet's
fake
go to
outlet.
Rehoboth. There's so damn many outlets in Rehoboth. It's
Off island. Yeah.
yeah, from like one, from the city limits, sort of 10 miles up one to the split where it goes to Lewis.
No updates.
Is Linda back? Well, she's at the hospital, I guess. Wow.
I mean, she's going to the hotel too.
Yeah, no, I know, but I mean, yeah, somebody said she was there earlier, right? Or something?
Yeah, she was going to be there until they took him in, I guess, and then she wanted to be there after he got out of surgery.
She probably needs a break.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say it's a blessing, but it is kind of that she's gotten much better now, and could you imagine if she was still having problems navigating?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Well, he'll likely have to go to rehab.
Yeah, and I think she has it set up to go to Good Shepherd.
Well, that's a good place.
It is.
It's the new one down.
By them.
Yeah. Well,
So
that's
it's
great.
5 minutes from their house.
That's even better. Excuse me. Thank you. A lot of pollen around this time of year.
Yes.
It was actually delightful coming and seeing all the green and still a lot of the flowering bushes left.
Well, we had a lot of rain, kind of not too hot and a lot of rain.
Her grass looks pretty good.
Somebody has to cut it.
Eileen said, no, she's retired, she'll do it.
Yeah. If you want to learn how to start it, dear, no need.
Yeah. Division of labor, right? What's your what part is your division?
We'll get Patrick soon, I'll be up on it.
He'll tell.
He'll zip around.
Trevor bought a little John Deere tractor a couple of years ago, and he was afraid of it initially. Well, it goes like a bat out of hell through the yard. And he says, Patrick, put it in the higher gear. Boom. Oh, God. Now if they're having a get together or something outside, he's bobbing and weaving through the people. Oh, God.
You know, Iris, your yard would be perfect for one of those iRobot things.
Yes, it would be. As soon as Ryan gets it at his place, he can send one up here.
You know, they have them at Saucon now on the short course when you come in.
Yeah.
They have them doing the
yeah?
fairway. Yeah.
What do
I
you
don't know if they're just trying them out.
GPS program for us?
It's an outdoor Roomba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually bought one for my pool in Marco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It maps it, but you don't have to map it like the one in the house. You had to kind of help it figure out, you know, the initial mapping. The pool, it did it all itself.
Did it on its own.
Yeah.
Wow, that's neat.
Recognizes and then
And I got it on my phone. I can turn it on, turn it off remotely. They actually the pool's never been so clean. Like Brendan goes, well, why do you have a pool guy? I said, well, because I don't want to do the chemicals.
It's like having sucker fish in an aquarium.
Yeah.
Well, plus, I mean, I couldn't be away all summer and not have the chemicals done.
Right.
I helped Ryan take the cover off 2 weeks ago,
God bless you.
and
How was the ecosystem?
pretty good.
Yeah?
He caught it before it hit 80 here,
Oh, God, yeah.
and he said, I mean, and it's full of pine needles and all that shit, and he says, looks pretty good. I said, really? He goes, Dad, if you can see the mermaid from upstairs, it's pretty good. I said, it's not crystal clear. He said, you can tell that there's actually a mermaid on the bottom. He said, that's how he determines clarity. And he says, and he said, I put a bunch of chlorine to shock it. And he said, apparently I caught it in time, and I'll fire up this. And he says, I've been debating on the propane versus the heat pump for the heater. And he said, it's a dollar or something for 1,000 BTUs, and it was like 14 times that. Oh, it was $1 for 10,000 BTUs versus $14 for 40,000. So he said, for propane. I says, well, faster response with the propane. He says, I'm not going anywhere. I just turn it on earlier. You know, and then so I think he's putting in
A heat pump.
a heat pump.
Can he leave the propane as like a hybrid and as a backup to get the energy or the rate of the energy addition, so that
He'd have to put in two units.
so he doesn't have one unit that he can just leave and.
So he's going to put the heat pump on and says, because of the ambient temperature that he's going to want to heat from
Yes.
in the month of May and September, he figures the delta's not that bad.
Okay.
The heat pump will efficiently do that. And so he says, so I turn it on every Thursday night.
Does he
By
have
the weekends, it's fine.
Does he have a heat hot tub integrated into the pool or no?
No.
Because I have both,
Yeah.
and that. But in Allentown, I just had the propane. But it is the response time is. I mean, you suck a lot of propane, but
Oh, you can heat it.
you can heat it fast.
That's what I was referring to, the rate of. But
He looked at it. I think he has one. And he knows who has to put it down and take it off.
Just
And
once you get those cold, those keep it in there.
you keep the heat. I mean, you heated it, And I said, and if you're going to use it, you would run it 24 hours because you don't want to lose what you've heated during when it was 70 degrees out, you know.
The tough thing here, though, is the nights. You got to keep
Yeah.
it running, or you know,
Yeah. Or you
maybe
just lose it.
July, but I mean, by August, the nights are
Killers.
Starting to chill.
yeah,
Killers.
and you start all over again if you don't run it.
Right. And he figured that's minuscule cost versus running with the propane to catch up. And
Although the propane heaters they weren't, my recollection, all that expensive. To have
it's just heat.
not your pool, right?
Yeah.
but
Yeah, just-
no, I meant as a backup or as a dual.
That's
That's where you were
give it
coming
to,
from.
give it
He's
to.
running off, what, 100-gallon tank or something?
Oh, then
So he didn't have a big, so he's using it for cooking.
yeah.
And
Well, that's not going to last long.
No. So
You
we
can
can
burn
either
100 gallons.
eat tonight or heat the pool.
And you know what? When the propane runs out, it's not fun.
No.
Then you got to reset every pilot.
Eileen's new car got bumped just the day before he left for Hawaii. So
Oh no.
How bad, Irish? Oh, if that's too nosy, don't answer it.
No. I got an estimate. It's $2,700 if they don't have to calibrate. Otherwise, it could be $1,500 more.
Calibrate the.
All the sensors around
Yeah.
the bumpers and cameras and all that shit.
Did they ever get back to you yet? You're still chasing them, or?
Well, I think I don't know if I told you, we were chasing the person that's handling it.
Yeah.
And so after, I don't know, 10 calls in 14 days and no response. So I got a hold of the receptionist one night and just left a message on that number, and the receptionist said, "Oh, we'll just call this person." I said, "Oh, I've done that." "Oh, if you've called 10 times in 14 days, here's her supervisor and her number." So I gave the woman another chance. No response. I called the supervisor's number, left her a message. 2 minutes later, the woman I've been trying to reach for 2 weeks called me back.
Son of a gun.
And she said, "Oh," she said, "we were going to close that out because the report we got is she backed into the truck."
Oh,
And Eileen's sitting across the table from me. I had on speakerphone. She said, "What?" And I said, "No." And then they said, "Well, we'll have to send in an adjuster." And fine.
Where was this? Where you having it?
At Avenue C. No, it happened on Airport Road. The road by the cemetery just before you turn down America's Parkway.
Oh.
She got rear-ended, or
Well, she was at a stop sign,
And a guy-
stoplight,
yeah.
and a truck came up and tapped her. Well, the back bumper went like this. So we said, okay. So I got the estimate, and when they said, and then the woman's talking to her, she said, well, so he backed into me, but he apologized, told me he yawned, apologized again, and gave me all his information and didn't take any of mine. But I backed into him, huh? She said, you know, my new Volvo doesn't go backwards unless I put it in reverse. There was a pause. So we're waiting for the adjuster. A few more days and then sick the dogs. So that's.
So you're still chasing.
Well, Irish, if it makes you feel better, it might. I'm waiting. I'm 14 months in with Liberty Mutual on a no dispute. Total the one car, and even the police report that the other driver I was more formally worded, but went through a red light and hit the car. It was like, it was like, okay, that's pretty clear cut. The thing is, I don't know if but when the cop called me and he said, it was, everybody's okay, broadside, broadside. Didn't look like that much damage. He said, it doesn't look like that much damage. This is his quote. But 4 or 5 airbags went off. Now, I didn't realize this was, the police experienced cop. It was right. We're near. It was near. It's the intersection near where we used to work. Come across that. Across the and and it was the regional. Our local police regional. So he knew where I lived. Called, and I didn't understand at the time the significance of the message he was delivering. And then, of course, I didn't think the car was going to be totaled until the airbag component of this was about $8,000. The airbag recalibrate all that. So that definitely bumps it up.
Oh yeah.
And it's Liberty Mutual. So I was at the zoo with some family members over, and I got a picture of they had emus. I got a picture of me, a selfie with me talking to the emu, and I'm almost I'm talking to your best people here, and I'm not getting result.
Did you send that?
I've mentioned it. I said I'm consulting. Now they paid probably 90% of it. There's an amount that's somewhat. The way they estimated was they took 10 estimates of similar cars, but the car is low mileage. It's gone now, of course, and 3 or 4 of the cars were low mileage, and some of them were, because the car was 10 or 11 years old, were quite really high mileage, and when you analyze it, I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but when you analyze it. At a certain threshold point, the resale and all that and falls off rather rapidly on GM cars as a function of the mileage.
With age.
And so we want to let's not average 10 or whatever 11, 12 cars with concluding let's take the 3 or 4 that match up. You don't have to do that many. They were rather similar numbers. I mean, they were, it wasn't that much difference, except, of course, it was different when you had everything in with the high mileage. So there was, and they seemed to agree with that, or at least the one person I was dealing with, but it didn't, it's like they couldn't grasp that as a way it's not the way they think about it, apparently. But I thought it was rather logical and reasonable, and some thought. So that's where I need the emu to give me some coaching on it. And
That's
so
hilarious.
But, it's I'll let you. I'll keep you posted how it works, Irish.
Well, my question is, do I get an attorney involved, since I have a few in the family, or do I? My insurance company, the agent said, if they're dicking you around, he said at some point you may have to go through us and let us go out.
And I
said, okay.
But would that affect your rate if you have to?
It does. They tell you, oh no, it does.
Yes. The thing that I just was trying to avoid is to have the attorney, and it adds to the cost. The money goes out of the system; it goes to the attorneys.
Right.
It's like folks, this is a no-win if we have to, legalize it that way. Let's work it out. Get something going, and get some kind of compromise numbers or something with it.
Talk to my nephew Derek.
Is he still doing?
He's still licensed in PA.
He's still licensed. I didn't know that. I can do that and get
And I.
No, that I'd
Derek,
like to
you
do
wanna
that.
write a few letters.
Derek
is still
Unemployed.
unemployed.
but he also he'd work on a cash basis too. So I mean,
he
we could,
could.
keep the things reasonable. Everybody wins. No, that's a good thought, Irish. He's still doing some. Well, he's unemployed, so what the hell?
I mean, here's
And he's
the thing.
licensed. What the heck?
He didn't want to do courtroom work.
Derek, I thought he loved it.
He does.
Yeah.
But when he got out of law school, he wanted to negotiate contracts for professional athletes. So we went with a firm, and the guy said, well, I'm going to do all of that business that my firm does. You do all this stuff. And kept sending them to the courtroom.
Well, he was doing traffic violations.
Yeah.
Getting people off
Right.
suspensions.
So then, when the guy was going to get, Derek bought the law practice. And Derek's was all over college campuses.
Yeah.
DUI? Call me. That was his. And he started to enjoy it.
I think he'd be really good at the courtroom.
I think he would be too, John.
I
think he would
he's
be.
got that confidence and personality.
No, his
and,
personality, I think, would
I
be
think-
just right. You got to be a little I don't know if it's cocky. We got a little
confidence.
yes, better word.
Confident instead of cocky, but
I'll
make
switch the
jokes
word.
with the judge, like, really? Do we want to spend all day discussing this? Or
Get to a settlement. Yeah. That's good. Well, see what happens.
so he was doing good.
Yeah.
Then he sold his practice when Michelle took the job at Music Fest.
Yeah, the distance, I guess, was but the irony of it is I've stuck with Liberty Mutual since I was in college, a long run, and with I don't know, probably no accident of note at all. I mean, I think that would count for something, like a loyal.
Let me explain how it didn't count for anything for me.
Yeah, I'm dreaming, right, John? Dreaming about that.
So the Florida insurance market is berserk, right, because of all the hurricanes. So if you buy a house, you can't get insurance. Well, you can, but like a $1 million home, let's just use that as a metric for a place on Marco. You're betwixt and between. So if you have to get a mortgage, you have to get wind and flood insurance. If it doesn't have pre-existing wind and flood insurance, you can probably get it, but it'll be the cost of your mortgage or more for the insurance.
Boy.
And if you don't have the money to pay the $1 million out of pocket, you can't buy the house, right? Because you can't get the mortgage. Because your mortgage payment is, I don't know what your mortgage payment would be, but maybe, let's say, $5,000 a month. I don't know, I'm making that up. For $1 million house? Well, I mean, you're going to have to put money. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
Concept.
Your flood and wind insurance is $40,000. So you've almost doubled your mortgage payment. So it's like this. So the market is really, it's really interesting right now. And at that top end, people, they can't get it anyway, so they just self-insure at this point because it's insane. They're going to have to figure out how to fix that somehow.
It's in the news, the national news, the situation. The situation.
So I had AIG for everything, all the properties, the cars, personal liability, umbrella, etc. And they just 2 years ago said, well, we're not going to insure you in Marco, but we'll keep everything else.
Oh, no, you won't.
It's like,
isn't that nice?
Great strategy. Goodbye.
What clerk came up with that?
But then, AIG pulled out, Chubb pulled out, Pure pulled out. So all of the kind of larger ones that would do that all pulled out.
Wow. That's something, John.
But it was some high number. 60-70% of all the claims were in Florida.
Yeah.
And then
before the fires.
So you had Irma, you had Irma, and then 2 years later Ian, right? And I mean that just look at Ian, the water event that caused. It's just awful. But you were talking about, so Brenda got rear-ended. I don't know, maybe a month ago. Same deal. She is at a stopped at the light. Some guy must have been texting or something, just bumps into her Mini. So the cop does the same thing. You sure you want to get this fixed? So, it doesn't look too bad. She goes, well, you don't know my husband. and cars. So same deal. It was a bumper. So we got all the info. The guy was very apologetic. He's pulling out he's a veteran and he's so sorry. Anyway, long story short on that, it was going to be like $2,000 for the bumper.
Yeah.
And then the same deal. Well, that she doesn't have anywhere near because that car's like 10 years old or something. So I go to the body shop and the guy goes, well, it's going to be $2,000. And I don't know if I can get the bumper. And it's going to be months. I said, but this doesn't look so bad. How about I get one of my mechanic or one of my guys out here now, and I think we can fix this on the spot. You just give him whatever you think it's worth. And he fixed it. But hers was like molded, like a molded, malleable type of plastic. So he was able to, there's some scratches and stuff, but I mean, it wasn't.
Cosmetically, it looks good, right?
It's okay. I mean, it's an 11-year-old car. I mean, it's not a 1-year-old car. And it's only about the 6th time that car's been hit one way or another. So, but anyway, so I'm on a golf course. I'm on a golf course playing golf with a guy from out of town who's a neighbor, actually, at Stever Mills. And so she calls me she never calls me when I'm on a golf course, so I knew this was, normally she'll text, right? I knew something was up. She's calling. Okay. So the message, I couldn't get through, so she texts me. I got hit in the butt, and I'm on the grass. Now, I'm thinking, what the hell?
What does that mean?
Butt and you're on it. What does this mean? Where were you walking? I thought she personally got hit. Yeah. I go to the guy. I gotta go. I get there. I'm like freaking out. I mean, Marco's not that big, but I was there in record time. I said, "Here, I'll leave. You keep playing golf, right?" She got rear-ended and she pulled over onto the grass, right? she gets hit in the butt and she's on the grass. Now, how would you read that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought she was walking the dog somewhere and got hit by a car. And I'm like, oh, well, that was really a good translation as to what happened here.
Well, you did the right thing, John. But it's I know.
I mean, I was pissed.
Yes.
I said, people talk about getting rear-ended
Yeah.
and pulling their car over to the side.
I don't ever heard him refer to it as got hit in the butt.
I was like, oh, God, Brenda.
Oh well.
Well, I found out that they can't repair the bumper. It's like two pieces,
Yeah.
and then the fact that it did this when it hit, it raised it.
Did it push the tailgate or the structure up a bit?
It pushed that part of the bumper that matches the back end of the hatch.
Yeah.
So it just he said it's all one piece, but there's like, he said there must be 25 pieces to your bumper.
Ooh.
With all the sensors and all the stuff. He said the good thing about Volvo, for the first 2 years, you tell them what part you want, what color the car is, they send it to you painted.
Oh, that's nice. So it's a mechanical fix, not a...
Yeah, he said,
body
so
shop
I
fix,
just
yeah.
bolt on, bolt off, and then it's like, so what sensors have to get recalibrated with the targets after I bolt everything back on?
Well, there's a lot of sensors because I know the car I got now it comments constantly on my driving. and I'm there, and Lynn's driving with me. I'm driving, and it's a competition on commentary. Like keep your eyes on the road. I mean, it's flashes and it's a keep your eyes on the road. Well, all right. I just looked over to see something, and and it's on my butt. It's on me. And then who's going to be first, her or the car? Now I got another competition here. So anyhow, yes, John, all you guys can envision that drama of driving.
If you really want to drive, then why don't you sit on this seat?
Yes, but I don't really. Yeah, that's a no-win comment.
I've tried that, and it doesn't really. No, it's not a relaxing thing.
Yes.
I really put my foot in my mouth the other day. I said, either I'm getting out of the car or you're getting out of the car. That didn't work.
No, this. Oh well. Oh well. What are you going to do?
They're sitting there talking about us.
Well, this isn't terrible negatives. It's just the fact the way it is, right? I mean, you got to have commentary on driving. I don't think my driving is that bad.
You still playing Wednesdays down with the group down there? Yeah.
Frankly.
I thought I had the game resolved last Wednesday.
Yeah. Good luck. I'm struggling, man.
Got an update from Linda Kennedy.
Oh, you got it?
Just came in my ear.
Oh.
I was wondering what you were looking at.
I was wondering what you were...
He's looking up there.
What is it, Irish? What's the deal?
He's just got out of surgery. It's below the knee.
All right.
And we're hoping everything goes well from here. And
This could be the last surgery? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You got a limited message, and I'm asking.
He just got out of surgery. The doctor did the below the knee amputation. He is hoping that it will heal successfully.
Oh,
So if it doesn't, I guess he goes above the knee. I mean,
boy, I'm learning a lot about how all this works.
I mean, right?
guess. But
I mean,
doesn't
you
seem
can't
like-
put it back.
in this day and age, it just doesn't seem right. It seems like this is
I
like
just got
Civil
a
War
text
stuff.
from Linda.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He just got out of surgery. The doctor did the below the knee amputation. He is hoping that it will heal successfully.
Oh, that's good news.
So how long do you hope before you know it is or it isn't healing right?
Good question, Bob.
Now, does the surgeon who gets paid for a second surgery make that call?
Come on.
That's really cynical right there.
He just got out.
So,
Surgeons, they're not lawyers.
so, and you kind of, he felt maybe this will heal, so it's worth a shot.
Doesn't sound good though when it said maybe it'll heal or I hope it heals.
Hopefully it'll heal. And I think, as we discussed earlier, he had all three things have to work for it to be, to work.
Oh, right.
They couldn't like graft, so many synthetic skins and everything else, and that they could just.
Duct tape.
Well, it's similar, but no, I mean, they use pig organs and everything
Yeah.
else.
So, and I was talking to Molly. I said,
Yeah, what's Molly say? Can you share any of that with us?
yeah.
Because
she
she's
said
got the
it's
inside.
Definitely not my area of expertise. And she said, prostheses have come a long way. And I told her about us sitting in there was a seminar put on by the Notre Dame Club last year at whatever the name of the hospital was, at Cedar Crest. Lehigh Valley. And it was the engineering and biomedical group from University of Notre Dame giving the presentation on what they had done on prosthesis over the last 5 years. And there were gangs of doctors and nurses and attendants. And it was back and forth. What do you see? This is what we see, and now, we're getting people to individually control the prosthesis by feedback on their nerves so that they can actually, that nerve would cause this and it does this on the prosthesis. So they were going back and forth in how to get a balanced gait and what would be a good gait, and so it was interesting of the inroads that they were making. So I said, on this day in medicine, I guess they're more aware of taking care of what they do for the nerves and to keep all that in a state that they could. But I said, Bill may be out of the age range as opposed to a 22-year veteran, a young veteran that got the amputation. But at least there's technology.
Yeah, and I read a little bit on this too. To just kind of was worrying me, But I guess it's Afghanistan, where they had the bombs were in the road.
Yeah,
a lot of injuries are, more than a lot of injuries are somewhat analogous. Yeah, true younger people, but to try to get people back, give them a life. And I think it was a great investment to do this. And so I don't know how to word it properly, but Bill can sort of take advantage of that research, I hope, with this. And
that guy on Fox, Joey Jones.
Yeah.
He lost both.
Yeah, both.
He's a much younger man, but he looks incredibly mobile when you see him.
Well, I'll tell you, John, when he's like walks on the set or whatever, it's Just
You
don't know.
even know that he, you know, and
Unless he crosses these
literally, I think, above the
unless he crosses his legs.
above the knees.
Unless he crosses his legs, you know.
Yeah, because he has suit pants on, and
if your suit pants on, you don't see. And it makes you feel, I don't know, and he's not letting it hold him back, I think, and that's makes you feel good about that. But
and
See
now,
you in
yeah,
June.
I think I'm going too. I'm exhausted.
Thanks for setting this up.
Irish, thank you.
Yes,
Great
thank you,
night.
Irish.
Thank you, Bob.
Bob, the cigar's working. That's good.
Yeah,
news, huh?
so far, no issues. Yeah.
Terrific.
Thank you for hosting.
Not a problem.
Safe trip back. We'll see you
Take
soon.
care, Bill. We'll see you soon.
Night, Bill.
See you soon.
Okay.
So you're coming back, you said
The
the
end of May.
29th, the 29th.
End of May.
Yeah.
Here,
I could maybe could be a good time for update briefing
Yeah.
with you. There's a lot. I have some good news, I think, and some good progress on things. I like to, but I don't. I don't want to talk about it, but we'll be.
Yeah, no, we can do
It
it.
would-
I'm back all summer then.
It would be. I need your thinking. Nothing that's super urgent, but it's some good things are moving forward. So
Okay.
we can wait till then. I think it's okay if it's all right with you. Just
Yeah,
kinda,
for sure.
it's better, just a face to face. But I'm good. That I'm taking what Iris said is like you
Brenda-
said, Bob. The
Brenda
wording.
just texted. She said she talked to the ladies. They said, well, I guess Linda was. I don't know if Linda was. Well, she must have been there. But she said, sounds like great news, and he did well in surgery.
Sounds.
Pretty much what I.
Let's all keep our fingers crossed and say a good prayer
Yeah.
for it, but it could, because.
Yeah, he's going to need our help, support when
Yes, John.
the next part is going to be
Well,
challenged.
I don't know how to word this right, but it's from the heart. Is there could be where you feel a little down, and having friends with positive thoughts and positive is I think important, or can be. I think we're all prepared to kind of. Is that right? I mean,
I'm
am I
sure he'll
thinking,
be ready to have cigars.
And am I thinking
on the
about?
patio.
I think I'm thinking about it the right way, but
Yep.
is to be there for him. It's just I can't. When I think maybe I shouldn't be spilling my guts here, but it's hard to process all this in a way. I mean, it's like holy mackerel, what's happened here?
Well, you said earlier, I think, God bless that. I don't know who said it, but that Linda's well on her way to recovery. That would be.
That, John, is a key,
Yep.
a super key factor, because at a certain point she was not very mobile,
No.
and Bill was like essential to her mobility, and that's not the case anymore. Thank goodness, she's able to get all around on her own, and wow, that would have been. Oy, don't think about it. So I'm going to take this as positive, good news. And, right? I mean, I think might as well. But as you said, Bob, it's the wording. It's hard to read between the lines of the wording, as to. I'm just not that familiar with how things are worded and what it means.
And I think that is kind of a protection mode, so that you don't say something. The doctor doesn't say something, then it doesn't come to be. So I think they hedged their bet a little bit, like the weatherman,
Yes, that's a good the analogy to weather, because that's not a certainty either.
Right.
And they do that. Yeah. That's a
But
good,
this is awful. Thankfully, they did it in steps, though, right?
Yeah.
In the old days, they might have just one cut, and
Yeah.
be damn about whether or not.
It seems like there's a patient engagement with the medical practices. So because Bill seems to be aware, as opposed to saying there's no communication. What you're referring to, past time, no communication with the patient. They're just like arms like that. And this, I get the feeling that Bill's engaged with he's engaged with the doctors, or they're briefing him, or he's, part of the information exchange, which I think is a much healthier way to do it. It's none of my business really, but it seems like a better way. Hi. Well, that's that. So they're all. Is Linda Kennedy going to join the group or not? They don't know.
I sent the text to Eileen,
Oh yeah.
whether they know already or not.
Yeah, they do, because Brenda was talking to him. She talking to the girls,
Okay.
and she texted kind of the same thing you got.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep forgetting Brenda's down in Marco.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, where are you going?
That would have been something, John, if I'd driven up to your
That
house.
was funny as hell.
And Emery, what are you doing here? How'd you know I was here? What the hell's
You
going
could have
on?
said you were going to see Dick
Penske. Yeah.
Rogers' brother.
Rogers' brother, yeah. Yeah, I could have.
Penske.
Penske. But
Paul, I am going to head out as well.
Okay.
that's all.
I'm fading.
Yeah, what'd you say, 2 a.m. you
2
got?
a.m.
Good luck. Have a safe trip, John. Back and
Yeah, good seeing you. This was very fortuitous. Thanks for...
Yes. Worked
Yeah.
take
out.
care, John.
Take care.
John, it's good seeing you, man.
Good seeing you.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
Yeah. It's good seeing all of you.
Take care.
Is your cigar done?
I'm about as far from my old house as I am from my new house.
I don't think I should light up another cigar. You want another cigar?
No, I'm good with the one. It
Okay.
went well. I don't want to overstep.
I use these little ones, so it
Yeah,
goes
go ahead.
quicker.
Light it up.
Oh, I don't know if I should do that. It's getting. I don't know. I'll see what
Now, Henry, I wanted to ask you. You have a Traverse, Chevy Traverse, a vehicle, or you
That's
did?
one of the ones that got trashed. Yeah,
Oh.
did.
When you did have it,
Yes.
did you like it? Was
Oh yeah.
Because Bryce and Emily have a Traverse. I took it out for a ride. I think I'm going to look at getting one of those. I was looking between those and the Pathfinder, like Bill has, and all the things I've been comparing and reading and following up on. It seems to favor the Traverse versus the Pathfinder.
I think so.
So now I just got to start doing the.
I would have bought another Traverse, except I was more for. Well, of course, we just bought a. Couldn't get a replay, and I couldn't get a Rav4.
Mm-hmm.
They just weren't. You can't get one.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like maybe I forget how they worded it. Maybe one will come off the boat that we can get for you. You don't get a choice of the color. I mean,
You don't
it's
get
like,
any
you
choice
don't get
of
any choices.
colors or
Comes
options.
off the
Get
boat.
what you get.
You get what you get, and it comes off the boat. I think in California, on the West Coast. So, but and it's got to get all the way here, and it's got to stay with your name on it, all the way through, et cetera, et cetera. And it's kind of a bidding contest. I mean, there's no such thing as car dealing with the car dealer. It's just like you're at the. So that, and it's because of the Subaru knowledge base that we kind of had from other Nogo homies and different, and I'd researched it some. And so we and spent time at the dealership, driving different ones, and that's when she got the forget the model.
Forester?
It begins with an F. Forester, yeah. She got the Forester, liked it. It's like a Forester's is similar to the RAV4. Frankly, it's a competitor.
Yes.
Right.
At least that's the way I view it.
Yep.
Size-wise, driving, and liked it. So now, and we got the favorite. We know the deal. We know, and it's right down the street. You walk down there. So that's a convenience of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And so now got that. We're back in business with our bunch of cars, and Lynn's happy, and so that's that. And then I don't know, another month later, the Traverse gets whammed, and so now we need another car. Okay, I mean, it's fun to shop for cars, but the novelty wears off.
Yes.
And so the Ascent is the model that would be similar to Traverse.
Right.
It's in the same. You line them up, the Pathfinder's over, and that's one. So so we're looking at that and the Traverse both, and then I'm much smarter because of what I learned about trolling for cars, trying to get a RAV4. I'm now much more expertise on the internet, on acquiring a car somehow, somewhere, some way from from all the different people that mess with the internet to sell cars one way or another. So there's a whole world of this. So pops up in the midst of this, maybe 2 weeks in, is an E-Wing, I think in Princeton, New Jersey, pops up an Ascent. I don't know if I even told you this, Iris. And I'm, getting familiar with the pricing and what's the deal, what isn't. And there's pretty good, Subaru's pretty transparent price. I mean, it's pretty, Subaru's, I think, fair pricing, and it's pretty evident how it all is working. That's one that the one in this Princeton one was the color I liked, the white. I liked the one to get a white one, and with not the one step down from the Tourist or whatever. One step down from Tourist. I forget what it's called, but it's what I have. It's pretty much features the ones that I was kidding about. I especially like the warning of blind spot car and all this stuff, and it's got the front warning and then beautiful pictures of backing. I mean, it's like I love that. I like when I'm backing up, especially parking. It really, if you can't park this car I'm driving now, give it up, because it's got cameras everywhere, and you get it's like a surround view,
Right.
which I think you have in yours, and you probably have, but I didn't have it in my old Traverse. Didn't have it because it's an old car, or relatively old. So anyhow, it's about $4,000 off, but it has the one in Princeton. It has 1,500 miles. It was a dealer who never was titled. It was the dealer kept the title. They must have used it for demo cars. I don't know. They were just
Courtesy vehicle or whatever.
a what?
Courtesy vehicle.
Yeah, like that, or just for people to drive and try it. Whatever. It's pretty easy to put 1,500 miles on if it's a dealership-owned car.
Yep.
And so I thought, well, that's not. It's used somewhat. It's $4,000 cheaper. It's used somewhat. It's got 1,500 miles on it. So, talked to the people. I never actually drove it. I'm hesitant to say this. I hope it comes out okay. But after when I was to do more active when the foreclosures and all that were, you had to bid. When you're doing housing, well, I've bought houses without seeing them. I mean, physically in place. I mean, you can see them, and I'm comfortable. If you buy a house, you can buy a car.
Yeah. Right.
And at any rate, so drove down. I wanted to see it before I gave him the money. Drove down Princeton, and with another person, and I mean, you wouldn't if they didn't tell you, except it had instead of 14, 15, it had like 17. I don't know. They must. It wasn't exactly the mileage they were advertising, but close enough. And they wanted like a cash. They wanted. It was an easy transaction. It was done in 40 minutes. And done. Then I don't want to. I'm not going to. I didn't want to say this bluntly, but I'm not coming back here. I got a dealer down the street that I can walk to, and so they didn't care. I mean, they wanted to make the deal and go on forward. So I could research. I'm very comfortable with it. I'm happy, but I didn't buy. The reason I didn't buy another Travers was more or less the sequence I just outlined. Another car crashed into me and I got to, and I wanted to make it happen, and I was very familiar with the process. I felt, and comfortable with the pricing. That was it's hard to get a deal, hard to get any money off, but so it seemed to work. So I ended up with the Ascent car, with one down from the highest end. And I'm happy with that. I would have bought another Travers for sure. It drives good. It's a comfortable car. You feel like you're going to, the same with the Ascent too though. I mean, you feel like you're not going to get, your positioning. I don't like to be low. Huh. Yeah. And I don't like to look over and see the bumper. I don't want to see the bumper where my shoulder is. I don't want to see a bumper. Right. Especially having these broadside accidents. I don't want to. That's not where I want to get. No. I like it maybe to bump my lower leg if it's going to hit me like broadside, or something. I want to be up, and I want to have some room to put stuff. And that's how I ended up. That's the story of ending up with it. So I'm comfortable with that, and that's the deal.
Yeah, you should be happy. You should be happy with the answer.
Oh, well, the thing with Irish shared with me, I didn't ask him much about it at this time because I was trying to move pretty quick, is because I needed to move quick enough because I figured somebody else is going to figure out this is a pretty good deal. And actually, when I went down, the guy had sent me an email, and it was a commitment email. Or at least I told him it was, because another salesman had another customer. He wanted to make the deal, so I mean, I had to. If I had waited another week, I wouldn't have I had to move on it, right. And so that was that. So I did that. And that's how I ended up with it. So that's the story there. So, and when my positive commentary on the Travers. I think Travers gets pretty good ratings. Oh, what I started to say and think about Irish was the Ascent. Your Ascent is the first or second model year, first. I think, first. So Irish is telling me, there's a couple little features that they didn't intend to work exactly the way they ended up, like the deck lid is open and then it drains it. I mean, little doodad things to get used to, and you just fix that with your starter box. Yeah, I think so. But there's fixes.
That's a $70 fix. So.
It's a $70 fix. My car doesn't have that problem. It's 4 years or so into the thing, and
Robert has one that's 2 years old now.
Yeah,
and they had fixed it by.
Well, what I did. I remember. When I worked in Detroit and went out there all the time for a day, when I used to go, I don't know if you remember, I used to fly out on Mondays, leave at 6 and come back at 8 or 11 at night for a project there. And it was actually before DEI was popular, was to help minorities get training and education. And it was called, at the National Manufacturing Training Center there. We were the East Coast School. University of Michigan was there, and different other schools, 6 schools, to get programs for minorities, because it was downtown Detroit.
Yeah, that's urban.
It doesn't get more urban than that. But what I was leading to tell you is that GM and Ford and them were particularly had a lot of engineers that were in the program, because the big training center there made the upper manifold assembly, for example, for Ford. The the main running engine on it. So they were producing things, training people on the job and in classroom setting. But it came very evident to me, because you're hanging out with, in between the meetings and all, you're talking to the Ford and GM people. I shouldn't say, well, in the group of engineers I was dealing with from those companies, nobody bought the first model year. And they kidded about it. Jesus, these are guys designing it.
Yeah.
You think, but they're talking to each other, they're not in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And oh no, I'll get that one in year 3 or 4. They're not kidding around. So I'm thinking now with that Ascent, it's in its. So I researched it out. It had a complete complete design cycle that goes through every 4 years.
Yeah.
They do a whole blast of let's get everything, rework. Well, I don't want to say it, but whatever.
Well,
but
a chance to work the bugs out.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. And then there's a heck of a lot of stuff in a car that has to be figured out.
Yeah, I'll say.
Think about it. And
I'd rather go back 10 years prior and get all the bells and whistles and all of that stuff.
Well, like the car you're driving now, Bob, that got debugged and it works good for you.
Yeah.
And I mean, eventually you're going to maybe. But that was a category car. That GM, I think it was a C body or D body. That was a big runner.
They had it down.
They had it down. That was they plopped more than Buick on that C body. There was I don't know which one, but there was a Chevy and a whatever could go on top of the same
platform.
Same platform, yeah. And so anyhow, that's why I'm. But the Traverse is on the same deal with the Traverse. The Traverse is on a perfected platform.
Yeah.
This is not a trial balloon car.
Plus, I like the Chevy 3.5 engine. That's been around forever.
That is the workhorse of all engines. If that one, they have worked the hell. They make millions of those. I don't know, probably millions a year. Because it's in so many vehicles. Yep. They even put in the little ones sometimes. Yep. The souped up little, like how the heck does that go 0 to 60? Well, look under the hood. It's like, how did they fit it in there even? So that's a real plus. The engine should not be a problematic thing, but the whole platform is used as a standardized platform, and it's the body panels are nice. I mean, it's a nice design. Really, it
sets up high too.
Well, that's to me. To me, that's a factor that I like. I like to get the view and the safety and also I just don't like a little. I'm not going to. John's not here, so I'm not going to. I don't want to. Would maybe not say this if he was here, but it's nothing to do with him. But I do not the ability to tool around, because John has a variety of cars. He's got the big car there and the different ones. So he can pick from his fleet on what he's going to do. But I not having a fleet, there's places you drive, things you do that you don't want to be in heavy traffic, in different situations. You don't want to be low like that. Right. I'm just not comfortable doing that. And I just say one other. This is a quick story, and I'll let you guys go. Is that when urban Detroit, and this I knew the first one I went there. And this is a situation where I got to keep my eyes open here. The parking lot. There were the parking lots. There was more. It's a big center. It's multiple city blocks. It's a massive undertaking. Millions and millions of dollars of this thing. And the Catholic Church was involved. Father Cunningham was one of the key players. And at any rate, the parking lot where you rent a car, you fly in, get the car, drive down. And I could make it leaving here around before 6, leaving ABE. I could get down to the meetings around 10 after 9. I got it down to a science. But the parking lot had razor wire, high fence, but not just barbed wire, razor wire, and a cop and a Detroit. It was not your random rent-a-cop. This is a Detroit. That was checked. I mean, there was people didn't from the neighborhood didn't wander in. See, and there was a time there was one of the GM guys kept walking over to one of the conference room we met and had windows that looked out, and he was more. I knew him. He's looking over and kept looking out the window, just in the breaks. And I said, Bob, not Bob, Jimmy, is something out there you look? And he says, yeah, I had to park in the street, and I just want to see if my car's still there, or if the tires are on it. Used to steal the tires quick because they're brand new. The GM, they just have a carpool, and they're just driving. It's not that far, maybe 5 miles from wherever they were, Dearborn. Come in, and then he said, I just want to be able to get home. I want to get out of here. And if the car's gone, it's a pain in the neck. I don't think he cared about the car. He just wanted to get home for dinner. But that's how it was. And I said to one of the cops, I said, I'm a little unnerved when I'm going to take a shortcut, because the quicker getting back, you get it back, I say 8 or 11. And so I really tried hard to get to all the little steps to get back, car in, get to the plane, get on, and so forth. And I said, I'm a little, and so you had to take there's shortcuts that I learned, but it was a little unnerving. I said, when I there's a red light up like 2 blocks and this, and there's a lot of people milling around. And I feel a little uneasy. If I'm stopped there, I feel a little uncomfortable. Any suggestions? He said, sure, just go through the light, and if a cop stops you, tell him that I said to do it, that you were worried about getting hijacked. They want the car. I don't think they would have hurt me. I don't know. But that's what he said. The cop's telling me, look, but you can go through. Just treat it like a stop sign. And so you're not sitting there like a sitting duck with people. And
Yeah.
you know that, I don't know if you've ever been down in the bad area.
Like that in Philly.
Yeah, like they're around. They're just around, and like, I don't know. But when I got home, I think I went the 1 year. I went like 40 times. It was just like Monday. That's where you go. And but Lynn would say I come in and especially if I missed and got the later flight, and instead of like welcome home, she was like, did you take the trash out? Because Tuesday morning is trash pickup, and she knew, especially on the later, if I plopped down in the chair, it was going to be hard to pry me loose to go out and then drag the trash cans out, and then we'd miss the pickup. So some things, even though there's travel, like how's your trip and all this, it's not really, that kind of melts away.
Yeah.
In when it's routine.
Competitiveness,
Yeah. No, and then maybe I told you this. One usually just 1 day a week, but a week. It was a week or two before Christmas, because at school it was school vacation or something. But I went on Monday and I also went on Wednesday. And in those days we wore ties, and I used to Christmas ties with different designs. And the stewardess says, "Oh, I like that. I like your tie today better than Monday." Now you got a pattern going. Yeah. And it was the only compliment I got on a tie the whole Christmas season, and it's from a United stewardess, whatever, I forget that you just happened to, because the flight crews were a lot. Everybody's in a pattern. Flight crews are a lot the same, but that's pretty pathetic, I thought. If my only compliment, but I took it, thanked her.
Why not?
Yeah, but anyhow, that's the deal. So that's how that worked, and
I remember I was traveling too much when the bartender in Denmark
knows you, knows what you want.
Would see me coming back from the office, and he'd see me walking by the bar, and he goes, "The regular, yeah." And he knew I was going up to the room, put the stuff away, and coming back down. And he would have whatever beer I was drinking on tap,
Ready to go.
ready to go. Now I said, I don't think there's bartenders in Bethlehem that know my pattern that much.
No.
You know, I just don't. But he,
No, you think of the little detail items. There was the Cinnabon. There was a Cinnabon operation right where at the end of the long walkway entered into the main airport area. It was right strategically placed. You could smell the Cinnabon about half a block while walking in, and I couldn't. I got so I couldn't. That was my little reward for getting there. I had my Cinnabon because it was quick. I didn't know anybody there. I mean, they didn't recognize it, but I had that. But that smell, was so that aroma, and so you get different like patterns of. I know it's pretty pathetic, but that's how it is. Anyhow, well, thanks again, Irish, for everything.
problem.
Thank you, Irish. I'm going to call it a night.
Yeah, we gotta go. Is there anything that needs to get?
Well, help clean up.
I'll take in
What
the
goes in?
ashtrays. I'll
Ashtrays come in?
I'll put the ashtrays all in.
Should we condense into one here?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me dump this out. I gotta watch I don't drop this because it's really heavy. This is really heavy. Okay, so we got these dumped. I'm gonna have to, if I put my sweater on, I won't have to carry it. And
I can make a couple of trips.
no, we're gonna do this. Let me put this on so I don't have to carry more stuff. I can get that glass ashtray and I can get his cans. Let me just, I think I can do all this here. Here we go. So anyhow, I'm feeling like Bill's going. I just got a good feeling about Bill's.
You're right.
I wanna have a good feeling about it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, here's a rule. Now, I got this. This goes all to kitchen?
Yeah.
The glassware. This is pretty clean, really. Well, now tell me where. Sink, counter.
Right there.
Right here, right like this?
Yeah, right.
It's almost not. It's really pretty clean. This one is not perfectly clean, but
And I'll just take this out to the garage and just.
what else needs to get done here?
That's it.
We got it. We didn't make too much mess, Bob.
No, we did good.
We did. I think it was a nice and eating out. It's a good, quick thing and
Yeah, it
nice.
worked out well.
And I think it worked out perfect. And it was nice to have the cigars and
Yep.
and
I'm glad I was able to smoke that and not get nauseated. So it's a good thing.
Why did?
Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks. It
Appreciate
all
it.
worked out.
Yes, it did.
Thank you, Art. Take care, buddy.
And it
We'll
was
see you soon.
interesting, the last minute thing with John.
Good to see you again.
I'm sorry,
responded to me when I'm coming back to the house to.
Yeah, what timing?
Yes.
I mean,
I couldn't have
sent
been
him a
nicer.
text and said, hey, this is what we're doing, on the outside chance that you never know.
Nope.
And and he called me and said, I can't make it to your house at 6, but I'll make the restaurant. And I won't miss the cigar.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I got it.
My grandmother used to say the good Lord acts in many ways. She read her Bible every day, and so she was religious. But she used to say that. Maybe that applies here a little bit, Is it like a
All right, see you later.
Yeah, take care, buddy.
Sounds good, the good news on Bill, so hopefully.
We're going to treat it that way, and that's positive thinking. Take care. All right. Well, good luck with your traverse, Spy.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll be, that's the ascent, the white one. You'll be, I think the likelihood of being really happy about that is really high.
Yeah, I just gotta find one.
Well, I hope I didn't discourage you from you, but you're not under pressure like I was.
No.
That's a good thing, and I think it's better market right now, or better situation.
I hope so. All right, good night, Ann.
Take care. Drive safe, Lee.